Right, so last time we saw PV over NT. If we were to substitute valid information for all of these ones, we would always get some kind of value, and this value is R. R is just the gas constant, and it's just basically what kind of makes the math work out with all the different units. In this case, it's going to be equal to 0.0821 liters atmospheres over moles Kelvin. And again, most gases ideal or behave ideally. Under quote unquote normal conditions. And so this is just another plugging and chugging type of equation. We can reorganize this to its more popular format, PV equals nRT. So, understand and kind of memorize this equation. It's not too bad. So you can, just given all the other variables, find out the unknown variable. So what volume will 5.00 grams of carbon dioxide occupy at 735 torr and 25 degrees Celsius. And then, of course, we're going to assume that CO2 is an ideal gas. Otherwise, our equation wouldn't work, and we won't really be able to come up with the answer. So we've got PV equals nRT. We identify which variable we want to solve for. That's volume. We reorganize our equation to solve for volume. In this case, we're going to divide both sides by P. So you have nRT over P. And now what we do is start plugging and chugging. However, we have to be careful. Our units must cancel. Right, and if we think about which one of these values we know the units of already, it's the R, right? R is equal to 0.0821 liters atmospheres over moles Kelvin. And so in order for the units to work out, the volume must be in liters, the pressure must be in atmospheres, the amount must be in moles, and the temperature must be in Kelvin. So in this case, all of the units matter. So let's start thinking about plugging and chugging. First, we've got 5 grams. That's our amount, but we need to convert that to moles. How do we go from grams to moles? Hopefully, we know that by now. We use the molar mass. The molar mass of CO2 is 44.01 grams per mole. That's equal to 0.11361 moles, about where 3 is the uncertain digit. Next up, we've got 735 torr. We have to convert that into atmospheres. That way the units will cancel. And we know that for every 760 torr, we have 1 atmosphere. So 0.96711 atmospheres, where 7 is the uncertain digit. And then finally, the temperature. Right, we have to convert our degrees Celsius to Kelvin. This one is Kelvin is equal to degrees Celsius plus 273.15. And then so we plug in 25 there, we get a Kelvin of 298.15, where the 8 is the uncertain digit. Then we plug all that stuff in and make sure that all of our units cancel out and think about what unit we're left with. And then if I plug that all into my calculator and think about the units first, the moles and the moles cancel out, the Kelvin and the Kelvin cancel out, the atmospheres and the atmospheres cancel out. So whatever number we're going to left with, it's going to have units of liters. And if I plugged it into my calculator, I get 2.87 liters as my final answer. So again, relatively simple plug and chug. Make sure you do a couple practice problems to ensure that you understand it. And then, of course, on exams and whatnot, make sure you include the units. And if it's asking for a different unit, make sure you convert to that unit. If it asks for milliliters, make sure you convert to milliliters. Obviously, with Canvas being kind of our homework system, it can't really check that, but nonetheless, you should be cognizant of what unit you end up with.